Oh, that is it. There's a real adult size snouted cobra. Oh yes. That's a beautiful snake. He's very sure of himself, sure of his size and his strength and his venom power. He wants to move away, but he's still watching me. This is what I want to photograph. Look at that hood. Look at that hood. Isn't he beautiful? It's all a warning. If this snake was now faced by a mongoose, he'd probably be in trouble, because a mongoose is able to wait for that strike to come lower. Ah! I've been bitten, guys. I've been bitten. For f***'s sake, guys. Come here quickly. Quickly go into the car. I want the crepe bandage. Open it. Yeah. Wrap it real tight. Pull it tight. Is somebody watching that cobra? Oh God, there mustn't be venom in the vein.
Anti-venom was on hand, and the local hospital had been forewarned, but it was still a 40-minute drive away. I knew if the venom went untreated, I could be dead in half that time.
Immediately I was alerted to the fact that a vein had been penetrated. That is your most frightening scenario, because if venom entered directly into a vein, I could be dead within 10 minutes. However, I saw that it was a cut. It wasn't an actual injection. The fang had cut my finger. And having sliced the vein. So in that way, the vein actually helped to flush out any venom that might have been lying around. It pumped it out. And then applying suction later with a little sucking machine. So all in all, somebody's looking after me.
In my 30 years as a professional herpetologist, I had never been as shaken as I was after that bite. Getting up close and personal to snakes is what I live for. Years of working with these fascinating animals have taught me how to get my camera as near to the action as possible. But that snouted cobra was like no other snake I had ever come across before. Back home, I was able to reflect on what went wrong. Even if I've worked with 100 cobras, each time it's like a new experience. I have to be careful, there's no question about it. Here I came across a wild cobra, a big one, about 8 foot long, and a really wily one. He was full of scars and stuff. It was just as if this guy had been through everything. He knows the works, you know. He didn't do the little dancing act. It was like an elderly cobra. It's like as if he knows all this stuff. Like when you're a teeny bopper and you bounce around, and you know, when you're older, you're like more lay back about everything. He was the same. He didn't strike at me continuously as a normal cobra would. He just stood and watched. I have this way that I can work a cobra and actually get my hand behind his head, because I know cobras concentrate on movement. So I could put one hand in front of him and I could bring my other hand behind his head. And I was getting ready to do this little dance routine which would pull his attention towards me and get my hand behind him. And when I brought my right hand forward, the snake actually came immediately at me, which was fine. Normally I would bring my hand back and I'm ready, and I actually brought my hand right down, which I always do. And I know that even if he strikes past. It's just perfect with cobras because they strike within this sort of range. They don't lunge at you like vipers do. And the snake was too wily. As I brought my hand back, where I would normally be right out of reach, he actually kept coming forward. It wasn't a strike, it was like a charge. And my hand was right back here, right out the way, and he actually still hooked onto my finger. And luckily I was still moving at speed, and one fang caught the finger and cut right through the finger.
I've been bitten, guys.
It was a frightening experience. It was nightmarish. But I'll tell you, above everything, I was so embarrassed that this supposed snake man of all this years' experience on the first film shoot gets bitten by that. More than anything, that overruled everything. I should have really been worrying about dying. But really, I was so embarrassed, that could have killed me on its own. You know what I mean?
It will never happen again. Never again. This is it. I'm getting too old for this.